Morning everyone. Today is lesson number 23. We're gonna talk about sets and heaps and so much more. Okay, so let's start it. I will run the program and we can import the function to from the reduce classes. You set variable to blank and use a for loop, and using the range you can append with this range from I 1 to 5 and set it, and then you're gonna print it. When you're gonna print it, you're gonna set union reduce. You use the reduce function to set union and passing the set dictionary going to it, and you do that, you're going to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13. Okay. And you're going to set a equals blank of the set, blank of the set. You cannot do this, you do this, you're going to get an error, but you can do like frozen set by do a dot add frozen set like that. Keep in mind there's a bunch of set value that you can do. You put a dot, so that a set you can add, you can update, remove, intersect, union, pop, subset, clear, copy. All these things you can learn by yourself. Okay, so this is a good useful tool to know what function they are in there for a set. Okay, I'm not gonna do that, so I'll let you guys figure it out on your own. So number 2, this one here, I import the hit queue, and I want to look at what hit queues look like. So I use the help function to do that. When you do that, you can look at this, aka they call priority queue. That's a fancy name to say it. So you can look at more by going to this website to look at it, and explain that generate from Python source code, yada yada yada. The description, the heap, they are actually an array, which is a dictionary k less than equal to a 2 times k plus 1, and less than aka 2 to n plus 1 4 or k counter element 0. So it's just like an increment number of a heap. Okay. All right. So you can have a bunch of functions you can do in here. You have a post, and you have heapify. Okay. There's a bunch of things right there. You can look at it. There's a heap pop. Okay, heap push, heap put pop, all kind of good stuff. Heap replace, and you can look at that. They give you an example. So this is the the help function for look at it. Look at that. That's all kinds of stuff. And you can do another way to do it. What I did is I opened the file. This is the source code. Okay, so you can look at it, and then you can read it. I did it on previous lessons, so this is where you look at source code, what these classes look like. This is what it exactly look like. It explain it, tell you. You could empty this one. You're gonna push the new item into it. Okay, and you're gonna do a heapify. Okay, transform heap a list into a heap. Okay, fancy way to saying it. And then there are a bunch of source code here. You can look at it, and I suggest you go look when you have time. Just look at the source code, what it look like. Okay, and this is the pop. You're gonna pop, remove data from the heap itself. When you pop, it's gonna pop from the right. Value is gonna be removed from the right side. Okay, you have replace. This is the function it created. In the source code itself, heapify, this is what it does. So I'm not gonna go into this. You guys go into it, look at it, enjoy it. So just so that you know that this you can do to look at the function of the heap itself. Look at that. Somebody wrote this program, it's fancy stuff. Look at that. It even give you a comparison, how you do this, yada yada yada, and then the source codes, and so on and so forth. Boy, this is a long code, man. Look at that. Okay. All right, finally done. Now we go to number 3. Number 3, we're gonna give example of the heap again. You assign a range of data from 0 to 9 and assign to a list. And then you're gonna shuffle a list, okay? And then you assign heap to a blank. And you're gonna say for your for loop for n in a data is a list. Then you're gonna create a list, turn a list into a heap by using this function called heap push. Add not n into the heap randomly, okay? Then you're gonna print it. Okay, the first time you print it, add randomly. It's pretty much randomly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go after like this. So from 0 to 9, because you're asking for 10 items being heap push it. And then you can also push manually one by one. You can use heap push. You want to add 0.5 to it. So when you do that, it adds into the next, after 0, it adds into that. Okay, and then you can also do heap pop. What it does is heap pop. It's gonna pop from left. No, actually it pop randomly, believe it or not. Okay, you do, it's gonna pop from 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's gonna pop 4 times, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you pop this one out, and 1 and 2. So the value before, you can pop this, and 1. It keep 3. So it's randomly popping it. So at the end of the popping, you're gonna print it. You're gonna have the values are gone. You're gonna left to this. This is the result of popping. This is the old one. Okay. And the next one, you're gonna create another list from 0 to 15. Okay. Then you're gonna, you don't do that, I comment it out, so you're gonna hippify. Hippify essentially adding the lithium arrange it, I think, after hippify. Yep, look at that. After hippify is actually arranging from 0 to 14. Okay, and then you're gonna replace a heap with this value 0.5. When you do that, the 0 are gone. The result you have 0.5 on top of it. So it actually, when you do a replace, it's replaced from the left value. Okay, and let's say you replace heap with a 10. And when you do that, it's replaced, the 0.5 are gone, and it's replaced. And then when you bring it a heap, it's gonna add it somewhere here. See? Instead of start with from here, it's not, because 10 is higher number, so it's gonna replace over here, in here after the 6. Right. See, after the 6, because 6 the highest value to replace next to it. Okay, and the next one we're gonna use deque function, deque object. You're going to import, obviously, collection import from the deque. What deque does is, it's like a heap, but it lets you do something a little bit better, I suppose. Oh, let's look at it. Excuse me. You can use the same thing instead of a list. You use the deque to do it. Okay. Instead of the list, use the deque assigned from 0 to 9 and deque it, and put the value to the queue. after the append, you append a 4, append a 3, and you're gonna deque it. You have to look at that. So the value from 4 gonna be added to the end, right? Oh, okay, append 4 is gonna add to the end. Append left is gonna add the value to the left side. So this function kind of nice by using the deque function. So I like deque because you can add append left. So you can specify append to the left side. Okay. When you pop it up, you pop a 4, and let's say unknown function can say I want to pop left, so it's gonna pop left. So you can take the value from the left out, and you bring it. It's gonna have the 2 is gonna be gone. It can start with 0. Okay, and coming like that. Okay. Rotate function. What you do is you're gonna rotate the value here, 6, 7, 8 go right here, and then rotate do like that, which is kind of nice. You can also rotate -1, and -1 gonna go like this, 6, 7, 0, and put a 6 to the end, which is interesting. Okay, and again you can use the Q and look at this to look at the value of function available. Oh, sorry. Here you go. You can deque. You have pop, pop left, remove, short, append, extended, clear, rotate, all kinds of stuff. Copy, insert. So this index too. So this kind of nice function that you can look at it and you can experiment with. Okay. I think I talk long enough. We have 12 minutes already. So again, the heap function, you have heap push, heap pop, heapify, heap replace, also the n largest and smallest. Okay, and we already know, talk about the force and set function, the heap classes, heap Q module and deque classes and function. Next time we can talk about lesson number 3. We can talk about the time function. Okay. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time. Adios.